If you were expecting the intro to this video being me yelling Mortal Kombat, you were right. Mortal Kombat! Mortal Kombat is back on the big screen and I had a chance to watch it, and these are going to be my thoughts on the whole thing. This is going to be completely spoiler free, and anything I mention in this is going to be also prevalent in the trailer. So like I said, no character spoilers, no nothing like that. I'm going to make it as clean as possible, okay? So to start off with, they invented a brand new character named Cole Young. He's the main protagonist of this movie. And at first I was a little bit confused. I'm like, why do they have to invent a new character when the Mortal Kombat universe has close to 100 characters? But after having watched the movie, I have to say that they worked him into the Mortal Kombat universe quite well, and he works as a character, so I don't really have a gripe anymore about that. One bummer about this movie is the fact that Johnny Cage isn't in it, and this is no surprise to anyone that's been following the movie closely. So no Johnny Cage means no nut punches. But there are a lot of other characters. I was actually surprised at the amount of characters they were able to get into this movie and work them in a way that makes sense, not just throwing them in there for no reason. All the characters they have in this movie are well represented, and they have their own unique abilities and personality traits, so they did a great job with that. And for some reason, Melina is now a black lady now, which is totally fine. I don't really have anything against, changing something for creative purposes, but it doesn't seem to make any sense to change the ethnicity of one of the characters. It'd be like if they made Liu Kang Hispanic. That'd be pretty odd, but I'd be like, okay, if it works, it works. So that's all I gotta say about that. Throughout the movie, you're gonna notice little references to Mortal Kombat lore, and even a shout out, a little Easter egg about the original creators of Mortal Kombat, John Tobias and Ed Boon. I think they did a great job of setting up the movie and setting up the plot. My one gripe is that the whole movie feels like exposition or setup for a second movie, perhaps, and it's not very strong as a standalone movie in my opinion. A couple of quick notes about the characters that are in this movie that have been announced and shown in the trailer. Goro is friggin' awesome. He looks great in action. Whenever you see him pummeling and punching and doing what he does, he looks great in motion, and he did a great job. It totally reminds me of like the Hulk from the Avengers movie, except even cooler. Kung Lao is every bit of a badass as I hoped he would be in more. Great job with him. Kano is a surprising one. I didn't think I was going to love Kano as much as I did in this movie. He does a great job. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. In fact, he's a little bit too good. He pretty much steals every scene he's in, but it's good. It's fun time. Anytime he's on the screen, you know something good's gonna happen. And also, Jax's arms! I will say that the music isn't quite as awesome as it was in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. It is good, and it is serviceable, it gets the job done, but nothing quite as memorable as the 1995 Mortal Kombat soundtrack. That was pretty much in a league of its own. Another thing I wanted to touch base on was the final 20 minutes of this movie feel very rushed. It's like if it was a comic book and you had 20 pages of a comic book, it's almost like they tried to cram 5 pages worth of story into 1 page. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels very rushed, and a bunch of stuff happens right at the very end, and it feels like it could have been drawn out a little bit more. I know it would have increased the runtime for the movie, but I think it would have benefited from it. The fight scenes are really, really well done. I thought they did a great job with the choreography and the special effects. Jax's arms! There were a couple of parts in the movie where I actually yelled out, holy shit! Jax's arms! Is it better than the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie? Yes and no, but mostly yes. In the end, I would give it a 9 out of 10. It's a very good movie, and what's cool is that it works as a movie, but it also stays very true to the source material. So even if you're not familiar with the games, you can still follow along and enjoy this movie for what it is and not get lost in the lore. But that is it for my quick Mortal Kombat movie review. If you are interested, I can do a spoiler review of it just to kind of go over the minor plot points and things like that. I guess once the movie comes out and people have a chance to watch it. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. I do recommend going to watch it, especially if you're a Mortal Kombat fan. So it is what it is. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon.